So if you didn't know, my favorite season for fashion is fall, winter. I love autumn and I love the holiday season when it comes to fashion, the layering, the accessorizing, everything. Now, because that's my favorite season for fashion, I always lack in my summer spring fashion. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but I just don't find it as exciting. So because of that, my spring summer fashion is always lacking and it's not as great as I would like it to be. So today I'm gonna make the most perfect spring dress. So in today's video, I plan to not only make the most perfect spring dress, but I want to make the most romantic spring dress. Lately, I've been really into ruffles and gathers, dresses that give me this timeless, classy kind of vibe, so I really want to make one that can be an essential in my wardrobe. And today, I want to show you how you can make it for yourself as well. So initially, I drew out a few sketches for you guys, and you all voted on this one. I wanted to add some more fun detailing to the sketch though, so this is my final sketch. For me, what makes a romantic, classy, timeless, vintage kind of design in fashion, I believe has a lot to do with the fabric and the silhouette, but also accessorizing. We'll get into the fabric a little later, but for silhouette, think tailored fits, long, accentuating, feminine, graceful, clothes that highlight the best parts of you, and accessorizing your outfits to enhance that even more. Music and film can also be a really helpful inspiration for this too. And just for your pleasure, here's some films that could help you set the tone when designing a dress like this. But enough of that, now let's get into the supplies. So for this project, to start off, you'll need the essentials. Your sewing machine, obviously, thread, measuring tape, needles, scissors, chalk, and a pencil, and some rulers. I'm gonna start with making the prototype first, and then we'll get into the good stuff. is a try-on haul, or a try-on cam. I finished the base part of the dress for the prototype. Obviously there's going to be straps on this dress, but I didn't cut them out because I sort of just wanted to go straight into the final fabric after this prototype and not spend too much time on the sample. But I like how it's looking. The only thing I'm trying to work on is this hem. Obviously from the sketch that you guys saw, it was a asymmetrical hem that went up with the ruffles. So I'm gonna work that out, and once that's worked out, then I'm gonna just jump straight into the final fabric. So I'm gonna work that out by putting this on the mannequin and cutting where I need to cut so that I know exactly where the hem needs to fall and then where the ruffles need to start. And then once I have that, once I have that, the next clip will be me sewing the final fabric and showing you guys which fabric I ended up picking from Joann's. Okay guys, since this is now figured out, I'm going to start with the final fabric. So I'm in the fabric store and I'm looking through the knits. Sorry, that was a bad angle. I'm looking through the knits. Low-key, I'm sort of just like seeing what speaks to me, and yeah, we'll see what I end up picking. So I got 4 yards of stretch crepe fabric from Joann's, and I'm absolutely in love with crepe fabric now. I high-key am about to start buying more of this fabric because it's so soft and it drapes so pretty and I just love it. But since there is a bit of stretch in this fabric, I'm going to make sure that when I'm sewing, I'm going to sew zigzag for the parts that I need to make sure that the stretch is still there. But for the straight seams on probably like the bodice part, I probably will keep it at the straight stitch. And when it comes to seams, I'm going to serge or I'm going to French seam everything because those are my 2 easiest options. And then for the hem, at the end of this, I am planning to do a baby hem, just like a rolled baby hem, I think is the best option for this dress. Okay, now that we have the fabric and our pattern pieces are cut, we can start sewing the final dress. So put on a good playlist to set the mood and let's get sewing. So when I start any project, especially when it comes to making something with a corset style top, I love to lay out the pieces so that I know exactly how I need to sew each piece together and how it should look spread out across the table. These are the measurements for all of my pattern pieces. Unfortunately, I did not make a pattern to go with this DIY, but if you'd like for me to provide you guys one, definitely comment below and I will make that happen. But for now, if you use my measurements as a guide, then you can make your own pattern based off of your own measurements to go along with it. So the first step we're going to do is sew the bust piece together. We're going to sew the lining pieces together and then the self pieces together. For my fabric, I have the same fabric for both the lining and the shell, but if you decide to do something differently, just make sure that you know which is which. All you're going to do is sew the side front and the center front together on both sides, as well as sewing the two center fronts together so that it's all one piece. You're going to do that separately for both the lining bust piece and the self fabric bust piece. Next, we're going to put that to the side and start working on the straps. You could do all 4 straps right now, but I'm just going to focus on the 2 front straps because we will be attaching these 2 front straps to the bust in just a moment. You should have 4 strap pieces, 2 for the back, 2 for the front, and to make the straps, it's super easy. All you're going to do is fold your fabric in half and sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way along across the top of the strap. Then we're going to turn it inside out with a safety pin, as you see on the screen, which I'm showing you exactly how you should do it. What you're going to do is attach the safety pin to one end of the strap after it's sewn, obviously, and then feed it through by pushing the safety pin, the closed safety pin, through the strap all the way until it gets to the other end. Then all you have to do is just pull the fabric along as you're doing this, and it'll smoothly turn into a strap for your dress. Then once the strap is right sides out with the fabric on the good side, we're just going to fold the ends on both sides in so that you can close the strap and make a clean finished hem. Now getting back to the bust piece, you're going to sandwich in the straps by attaching the 2 straps to the front of the bust. I like to align it along the center bust point on the bust piece, I've said that so many times, so that it's straight as you see what I'm doing on the screen. Make sure to keep the bottom part of your bust piece open because we will be attaching that to the bodice piece later. And my apologies in my future references where I keep saying corset. I say that because it is a corset style kind of portion of the dress. However, this is not a corset because there is no boning in it. So it's really just a bodice piece. So I'm gonna say bodice for the remainder of this video. Do not forget to iron your fabric, guys. Iron your seams between each step so that your seams are clean and they look so much better once the final garment is done because everything is pressed out. Now when it comes to fabric, certain fabric is not good to just directly iron on, which is why I'm using a washcloth or like a towel to put on top of the fabric and then to iron. If you don't do that, your fabric will get ruined. So make sure that you have something to protect your fabric when you're ironing, if it's a fragile fabric. Now that the bust piece is done, I can finally say that for now, we're going to get into the corset part, starting with the center front and side front pieces. However, I just want to show you guys how it looks laid out. I like to do this, like I said, so that it's easy for me to understand how this is going to be sewn and how it should look laid out across the table. So this is how it will look laid out, and we're going to right now focus on the center front and the side front pieces. First step, we're going to sew the 2 center front pieces together, and then we're going to sew each center front piece to each specific side front piece. So left center front to left side front, and right center front to right side front. This is how it should look as one whole piece together. This is your entire front piece, And now we're about to add the bust piece to it at the top. Please iron your seams, guys. I promise you it's gonna make so much of a difference at the end of this. Now, as I was saying, we're gonna attach the bust piece to your front corset piece. All we're gonna do is attach the bottom edge of the bust and the top edge of the corset and pin that together so that everything stays in place as you're sewing. Now we're going to attach the front bodice piece to the back bodice piece. So we're going to start with the sides. However, we are adding a zipper to this dress, so whichever side you're adding your zipper, do not sew the side seam of that. For me, it's going to be my right side, so I'm sewing my left side together. I'm starting with the side front and the side back pieces, sewing those together, and then I'll be sewing the side back piece to the center back piece so that those are all attached on that side. I'm also going to attach my right side back pieces together, so the side back and the center back for my right side, I'm attaching those two together separately, not attaching it to the front. I'm just attaching those two separately for when I attach them later to the front. And this is how our progress should look so far. Look how cute it's coming out, guys. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can already see how gorgeous this is gonna be at the end. Now onto the fun part, gathering. Next is the skirt piece, so I'm gonna lay this out so that I know exactly what I'm about to work on. First step for the skirt, I'm gonna sew the two side seams together, but I'm gonna make sure I leave at least 3 to 4 inches open at the top of the side seam that my zipper will be attaching to. So for me, that was the short end of the skirt. Next is the gathering part. So easy enough. All we're gonna do is sew a straight stitch. You could do 1 or 2. Normally they do say you should do 2, but I'm gonna do 1. Just a straight stitch along the top of your skirt, all the way across, all the way. So before you start sewing on your machine to gather, make sure that your length is to the longest length. For me, that's 4. And make sure that you're on the straight stitch. I've been sewing on zigzag for this entire project because there is a bit of stretch in this fabric, so just make sure that you are on the straight stitch. After you sew that straight stitch, make sure that you cut enough off of the running thread where you can pull that thread to gather the skirt. Do not cut close to the edge because you need enough thread to be able to pull. So all you're going to do is just use your thread and pull it and watch it do the magic and see the gathers on the skirt. It's so pretty and super easy. So you're just going to do that until you find your desired ideal gather for the whole dress. After that, I'm going to set the skirt aside for a little bit and I'm going to attach the right side of the back to the left side of the back, but I'm going to only attach it at the center back pieces because we need to leave that right side open for the zipper. So I'm gonna sew the two center back pieces together so that it's all one piece, and then if you fold it, then you'll see that it's the back half of the bodice. And then I'm going to attach the skirt to the bodice piece, finally close to the end here. So I'm just going to sew the bottom hem of the bodice to the top hem of the skirt so that those two are attached. And I'm just going to do a zigzag so that it's like secure. And after you do this and sew them together, you could serge the edges or finish the edges however you'd like to. Last but not least, we're going to attach the zipper. If you guys want a tutorial on zippers, I can do that. For now, I'm going to put some links in the description. So I'm just going to add the zipper to that side piece all the way down, going into the zipper on that little opening that we left for the zipper to fit in. Okay guys, it's the next day and we're finally at the last steps of this dress. I'm so excited. I literally stayed up until I think 1 a.m. finishing what I needed to for the other steps, and it's looking really good so far. So now all I'm about to do is just add those back straps, and as I put it up on the dress form, I realized I actually don't know if it really needs ruffles, because the way that I have the hem falling right now, I sort of really like it. So I think I'm gonna leave it how it is, and you guys will see in the reveal, and you can let me know what you guys think. If you still want me to make a version with that ruffle at the bottom like I originally was gonna do, definitely comment below and I'll do that. But I think I'm gonna leave the dress how it is, and the last step I'm gonna do is just adding the back straps so that I'll be able to tie the dress together at the top in like a bow or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna finish that and then you guys will get to see the reveal of the dress. I hope you guys enjoyed my DIY video, my sewing tutorial, and that it was able to help you and teach you in like the most easiest way possible. I definitely would say this tutorial is for intermediate. There is a little bit tricky parts during this tutorial that may be sort of hard for people who are beginners, but honestly, if you really work at it and like you're really passionate about trying to learn, then you can definitely make this dress. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you guys enjoy the final reveal, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe. Hit that like button if you enjoyed my video. Comment below what you guys think, and if you decide to make a dress like this for yourself, definitely tag me so that I can see how your dress turns out compared to how mine turned out, if you decide to do the full like original. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video, and let's get to the reveal. So before I end this video, I also wanted to let you guys know that I am going to be dialing back a bit on my posting. I will only be posting twice a month from now on. I just want to be able to have more time to be able to put into the things I'm designing and the videos I'm making, because I don't want to just rush and put something out. I want to actually put more thought and love and time into these designs and art that I'm making, because I really am passionate about this and I want to make the best of my ability for my YouTube channel and for the designs I'm creating.